Has gone 9 o'clock Central African time. This is BTV News. We're broadcasting live from the nation's capital, Gaborone. I'm Olivia Samoka. Let's take a look at stories making headlines. The Khomokasitwa triple murder suspect, Lance Corporal Moagi, arrested. Government committed to supporting the development of National Drug Control Master Strategy.
In sport, Botswana Football Association moves closer to introducing VAR technology.
And that is Tato Khosimori joining us on a sport desk later on now. Welcome and thank you for joining us. The Assistant Minister for State President, Ms. Maipelo Mophuthi, has emphasized the government's commitment to supporting different stakeholders involved in the development of the National Drug Control Master Strategy 2025-2029 and its monitoring and evaluation framework. Ms. Mophuthi says that the growing number of people who use drugs in Botswana, smuggling and the dreadful effects they have on the public health are some of the reasons that compelled the government to develop the strategy. She made the remarks during the stakeholder consultation meeting held in Tlokweng. Wame Mokhatitswani with more.
The Drug Enforcement Agency's rapid assessment and response to illicit drugs and substance use conducted in 13 sites in Botswana last year revealed a steady growth in numbers of people who use drugs, especially in schools. The terrifying effects of illicit drugs and substance abuse on the health of the people have, however, coerced government into collaborating with various stakeholders to draft the National Drug Control Master Strategy in a case to protect the economy of Botswana.
Now, can I just say, these sites were Moboditsani, Gaborone, Tlokweng, Lubatsi, Molopolole, Palapi, Letlakane, Francistown, Kasane, Maun, Khansi, Tsabong, and Joanne. The meeting with the district commissioners, all DCs noted the significant increase in the reception orders signed for psychiatric treatment of young people related to drugs.
Tobacco and alcohol abuse, which are contributing to increased cases of gender-based violence, which has taken a very devastating toll in our country. Mental health and poor performance of school learners. Clearly, the multifaceted nature and linkages of drugs and substance abuse contribute to family problems and requires a determined effort by all stakeholders.
The conference will have to look to and address is to speak to our youth, specifically a healthy youth, and how we achieve that. In schools, the conference must indicate how packaging, educational programs, policies and procedures will contribute towards drug abuse and prevention.
The illicit drug and substance abuse has evidently affected countries worldwide. It is against this background that the government of Botswana continually engages with other countries and some international organizations to compare notes on effective ways to combat the use of illicit drugs and substances.
So our youths currently call themselves science students. And they mix and match different substances like cannabinoid, cannabidiol. They also include human bones. So they exhume the bones and they believe that it gives them this psychoactive effect. Our youths now store their urine. They store the urine for several days, so it becomes concentrated ammonia, and then they are able to exhale. Diapers. So there is also a chemical component in the diapers that is being used by youth.
Fighting illicit drug use and substance abuse requires concerted efforts of different stakeholders, including at individual level. The public is therefore implored to report all cases of illicit drug use and substance abuse. Wame Mokhatitswani, BTV News, Tlokweng.
Botswana police have arrested Lance Corporal Mokome Moagi, who is alleged to have murdered 3 people in Khomokasitwa on Tuesday. Murder suspect Lance Corporal Moagi, who has been on the run since Tuesday, was apprehended by the Botswana police today in Nhlantle village while he was going to the shops. Meanwhile, police investigation continues.
Gompieno yana ka letsholo le ntse le tsweletse raitso e na re mo metsotsong kana di o ra e hitileng ra be re tshwere monna yo ko motseng wa Ntlhantle jaanong re mo tshwere jaana ile gore nya re santse re ata re thusa thata mo dithuthumisong ka jaana o na siame mme re mo tshegeditse mo nako ya gompieno raitso gore re ka re mona kwa gompieno hela re leboge sone setšhaba sa rona setšhaba sa rona raitso se nnile le seabe se se tona gore ebe re mona kwa gompieno re be re bega gore re tshwere melala o e leng gore re na le dikgang tse tharo tsa polao tse le gore di diragetse ko motseng wa Khomokasita ka di 25 tsa kgwedi yone raitso jalo ka jalo re a leboga hela thata batswana ba rona ba ba re thusitseng gore mo nako ya gompieno re be re moswere tota ka boammaaruri go ne go sena kgogakgogano ipe mme ebile re santse re mo thuthumiseng tsa yone gore kgang ye ya dithobolo re be re bona gore gati o re thusa mo go yone le one gore e tsamaya nthaihe mo nako ya gompieno ka jalo gompieno ne re mo tshwara hela le monna hela le gore o na eme mo stopong yaanong go raya gore re tabe re ntse re tswelela ka dithothomiso yaanong go ya ko pele ka gakologela gore kana batho ba tlhokagetse ko Mokasitwa o ka gakologela gape gore ntu e ne e file o ka gakologela gore mo lepodisi le le berekelang ko Khomokasitwa le na la hulwa la ba la go badiwa so ke melato e leng gore go polao ya batho go tsubua ga ntu go leka go bola ke melato hela e mentsi le mengwe le gore tare ntse re tsweletse ba ile gore ba tlhomile le koko le ne le thothomisa le bona gore go tshwaneletse gore ba ka bona di other charges kana melato mengwe re tana re ntse re sekaseka ya ka go tsweletse pele.
The 2024 Botswana General Certificate of Secondary Education BGCSE results have been released. 36,917 sat for examinations in 2024. Of this number, 22,199 were female candidates, while 14,714 were male candidates. The 2024 results have generally remained similar across grades as compared to 2023.
The results indicate that among the grades awarded this year, 96.24% were grades G or better, compared to the 95.80 in 2023. The proportion of grades at E or better is 74.77%, compared to the 75% in 2023, whilst that of grades at C or better is 31.35%, compared to the 32.3% in 2023. However, the proportion of grades at A or better is 2.84% compared to the 3.7% in 2023, which is a slight decline.
I would like to confirm that the laid out processes of scoring, grading, and awarding were followed to obtain the 2024 BGCSE results. The processes were quality assured by Cambridge University Press and Assessments to ensure that standards were maintained. The assessment processes and the environment under which the examinations were conducted have been tested and validated by the BEC board, and I am confident that the results represent the true capabilities of the candidates. And at this point in time, I would like to commend the BEC for a good job. Well done.
The Department of Wildlife and National Parks in Gauteng region is appealing to residents of Elephant's Drift and surrounding areas to be cautious of Limpopo Madikwe River since the recent flooding has brought various aquatic animals. The river is said to be playing a huge role in the community as the residents' livelihood hinges on fishing and farming. Thank you, Sito.
Some of the animals that were spotted in Limpopo Madikwe River include hippos, crocodiles, snakes, and it is suspected that there may be other dangerous species. As such, going near this river may endanger their lives.
Re kopa setšhaba gore ba ikele tlhoko ba hokotse motsamao gaufi le noka
We urge the community to be cautious and avoid going near the river. We also appeal to them to report to our office in Muchudi or inform the police when they spot such animals.
Wildlife Office kana mo sepodising ba re itsise ka yone kgang yone kana seemo sene seo.
What time do these animals normally come out?
Bontsi jana ko diphologolo tse kwena le kubu di tswa mo maitsibueng.
Most of the time, crocodiles and hippos come out of the water in the early hours of the morning, like 3 a.m. to 7 a.m., and in the evening from 6 p.m.
Bo simula go tsone dinako tsone tseo bo 3 go a go bo 7.
Matshelo a batho a ikegile ka noka inoka e kana tlamile ditiro tsa difarm. Difarm di teng mo thoko ga noka e tseleng gore batho ba
This river has created a lot of employment for people in the farms as they draw water from here. It is also important as it supplies our people with fish and our livestock drinks from it. So all in all, this river plays a huge role in the economy of Oliphant's Drift.
So mo itsholelong ya Oliphant's Drift.
It has been highlighted that the overflow of this river is a result of the recent heavy rains, which led to the postponement of the fishing festival. Fishermen are advised to wait until it is safe for them to fish. Tankisintu, BTV News, Oliphant's Drift.
The chairperson of the National Flood Disaster Response Committee, who is also the commissioner of the Botswana Police, Ms. Diana Marate, has warned the public to be on high alert ahead of expected rains across the country starting tonight. The commissioner was on BTV News earlier this morning to update the nation on the committee's work since the devastating floods earlier this month. She says they remain on standby to respond timely to any query related to floods.
Le ka moso go ema ka di 3 go tana le dipula me dipula tse di sologetse mo mahelong a bo Motšhudi ma dikgaolo tsa bo Lobatse ka dikgaolo tsa bo Tlokweng Gaborone di sologetse go kgaolong tsa bo Ngami di sologetse go dikgaolong tsa bo Chobe dikgaolo tsa bo Spako me se se re tshwentseng thata re le ba re le baganeng le boikarabelo ba go hemela Batswana mo manokonokong a dibetsa ke gore kana le hatshema le setse le kolobile Gaborone dam santse etetse ditsela tsa rona di senyegile mme go ra gore le pula e tanyese ya sepe mo Gaborone le mo Tokweng di area ra tsone tse go bo Passhold e ta ira merwaleng se se re tshwantseng gape gore mahatsha re ba pileng nao dipula di ana mme dipula tse di nang ga di na ko South Africa di tatsa le tamo la rona go heta la Gaborone go bo gora gore ya no kana go affecta bo Motšhudi ka go affecta bo Tokweng gompieno ja ka re bua yana dipula tse di neleng ka ko South Africa re tswaletse bordera ya Passhold bordera ya Pitsane le yone e tswetswe bordera ya Bray ka ko Kgalagadi le yone e tswetswe re beile bordera ya Martin's Drift Litho thata ka gore dipula di ana ko South Africa re lebeletse gore dipula tsa ga ile gore di ana ko Zimbabwe di ta ama batho ba rona ko bo Spako dipula tsa ga di kana re ta bona metsi a ta ka bokete a tsena ko metseng e tshwanang bo Gweta.
A press release from the Office of the Permanent Secretary to the President has announced some appointments in the public service as follows. Ms. Dikeli Pefo has been transferred from the Office of the President to the Minister of State President as Deputy Permanent Secretary, Corporate Services. Mr. Edward Raletobana has been transferred from the Minister of Child Welfare and Basic Education to Minister of Higher Education as Deputy Permanent Secretary, Corporate Services. Ms. Mamiki Kamanakau has been transferred from Minister of Local Government and Traditional Affairs to Minister of Child Welfare and Basic Education as Deputy Permanent Secretary, Child Welfare. Mr. Tapelo Learing has been transferred from Minerals and Energy to Minister of Lands and Agriculture as Deputy Secretary, Lands Economics. Mr. Baleseng Hikwama has been transferred from Minister of Minerals and Energy to Minister of Labour and Home Affairs as Deputy Permanent Secretary, Corporate Services. Mr. Otata Batsetsui has been transferred from Minister of State President to Minister of Trade and Entrepreneurship leadership as Deputy Permanent Secretary, Economic Diversification. Mr. Tlotlego Maikepe has been redeployed as Deputy Public Sector Reforms Coordinator in the Ministry of State President. Mr. Piwa Mongwa has been transferred from Ministry of Labour and Home Affairs to Ministry of Minerals and Energy as Deputy Permanent Secretary, Corporate Services. Mr. Mike Taukobong has been transferred from Hanape District Council to the Ministry of Local Government as the Senior Manager, Corporate Services. Ms. Belinda Baker has been transferred from Ministry of Youth and Gender Affairs to the Ministry of Transport and Infrastructure as a Senior Manager, Corporate Services. Ms. Kulebogile Tshitlo has been transferred Independent Electoral Commission to the Ministry of Sport and Arts as Senior Manager, Corporate Services. Ms. Daisy Pilewetsi has been transferred from Botswana Public Service College to Directorate of Public Service Management as Manager, Corporate Services. Mr. Baiti Sibudula has been transferred from a National AIDS Coordinating Agency to Independent Electoral Commission as Manager, Corporate Services. Mr. Uonga Madiwana has been transferred from Independent Electoral Commission to National AIDS and Health Promotion Agency as Manager, Corporate Services. You're still watching BTV News. Thank you for staying with us. Now, the burial of the founding president of the Republic of Namibia, Dr. Sam Nujoma, has been held in Windhoek. Will be held in Windhoek tomorrow. Dr. Nujoma died on the 9th of February and is to be buried at the Heroes Acre. The Minister for International Relations, Dr. Penyo Butali, will attend the funeral together with other senior government officials. The former president, Lieutenant General Saratse Khama, will also be in attendance, while acting President Ndaba Khaolate is on an official assignment outside the country and will be back on the 3rd of March. Gaborone District Commissioner Ms. Sebokwani Dikgope says the disaster management team was able to assist those affected by the recent floods in all the Gaborone constituencies. She says this was made possible by concerted efforts between government, private sector and individuals who came forth to offer relief assistance to flood victims.
1,869 were affected and 292 were evacuated to various centers. Modi constituency in Butano, we had evacuation centers. Miki Supejalo Gaborone Central, Rebeile, Batsadi, Bali 22, Mebali Gaborone Senior Secondary School, Meko Gaborone South, Rebeile, Batsadi, Bali 30, Baliko SDA Church Extension 2. Worth noting, Kehore SDA Church, Banaba Keitarela, Batsadi, Botevarne Rebeile.
Different companies continue to heed government's call to aid in disaster by donating food, hampers, toiletries and monetary funds to the office of the president. Amongst the companies donating is a youth-owned podcast overview radio, which donated 100,000 pula worth of airtime for any public announcement. Soft Life Tissue, which is also a youth-owned company, donated 960 toilet papers, while Kill Water Bouncing Services has donated 20,000 litres of drinking water to affected areas.
Our donation entails of first things first, gather 100,000 pula airtime re Ministry for State President, because the ministry is responsible for the disaster relief and office in terms of disaster and all that. It's up to the ministry the airtime office disaster and stuff like that. Totala rona go overview radio, since we are a digital platform, a podcast and all that. Whenever on a communication is when go buiwa le batswana mo maranyaneng office ya rona iteng kana platform ya rona iteng.
Basically, we are here to donate and give back to the community concerning the national disaster that we just experienced the past weeks. It's just to give a helping hand to those who were affected, so that they can be able to relieve themselves.
As a people-oriented company, we have donated 20,000 clean drinking waters so that people can benefit and hopefully improve the quality of life.
Meanwhile, Nadi Enterprises has donated 240 sanitary pads and 100 blankets. Shansi Construction Engineering 200,000 pula. BNF Women's League donated 5,000, while Hillview Church donated 22 mattresses, toiletries, as well as food hampers.
The bottom line is the church has to be the first respondent when there's a crisis, and we want to really extend our arm to the public of Gaborone and surrounding areas where our doors are open for them for counseling and any other matters that they may need help with. We are at G West Industrial, just by behind Auto in General.
Ra bona go le maleba re le bomme go re teka kwano re te go supa gore nya mme rona bonyane jo re na le jone re ka ba amagana le lona la bona gore le ka thusa batswana jang go gae.
It is time for our sport news. Tato Khosimore on standby.
Thank you, Ulibile Samoka. Welcome to Sports segment from Botswana Tonight Sports Desk. I am Tato Khosimore. Let's jump straight into our leading story. President of the Botswana Football Association, Tarik Babitseng, says that the use of video assistant referee VAR technology in football matches is part of FIFA's rules and regulations, which member associations are required to adopt. Babitseng made these remarks during an opening ceremony of a two-day VAR implementation workshop organized this Thursday in Gaborone by BFA in partnership with COSAFA and FIFA. Kagiso Molelekwa reports.
Babitseng highlighted that VAR technology is a key initiative FIFA plans to implement widely in the future, so that every accredited referee will be required to be skilled in its use. He highlighted that its adoption will contribute significantly to the growth and development of referees.
VAR is part of play rules.
VAR is one of FIFA's official rules, and this is an opportunity for us to ensure our referees are included in high-level games. In future, certified VAR referees will be utilized instead of relying solely on CAF and FIFA officials. There's a chance for them to prove their capabilities. FIFA is providing us with financial support, which will enable us to successfully implement this program.
This is a platform where it is an advantage to them, so that they can know that worldwide. FIFA we are going to take that advantage. It comes with a cost, and yes, we know those costs that are already cushioned.
In addition, COSAFA has underscored the importance of encouraging its member associations to adopt VAR, citing the potential to greatly benefit the sport of football.
We will train the referees theoretically in class, and then we will train them practically on the field of play. So when we are on the field of play, you will find out we'll be doing exactly what we'll be doing during the game and correcting the referees. And in this process, we are going to take each referee to be certified to officiate with the VAR. He has to do a minimum of 20 to 25 hours of training. This training actually incorporates the simulation in class and on the field of play. So you'll find out this particular project is very, very important for BFA, Botswana Football Association.
We are bound to benefit. Ka gore ha nna nako ya va motsusunyane le gore yene ke gona le gore va ya dirisiwa, we can be able to attract sponsors ka di squeezes, because that is the time when people are glued to the activity of VAR, and that is the time when sponsors can do the squeezes, and there will be a benefit also to the association. So what I'm trying to say here is point out VAR is coming to here to maybe deplete the coffers of the association. It's not true, it's not a fair comment. But rather we can also use VAR as a market and commercial tool for the association.
The training sessions, which are set to conclude on Friday, aim to educate football stakeholders on necessary steps for implementing VAR technology. A second phase of training is scheduled for April and will focus on providing referees with in-depth instruction on the use of the technology. Kagiso Molelekwa, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
Botswana Football League Chief Executive Officer Bennett Mamelodi says after conducting a thorough assessment on various football pitches, they've concluded to schedule FNB Premiership League matches for this coming weekend. So BOTSWANA Lepa reports.
Following the severe weather conditions, which forced the postponement of the FNB Premiership midweek and weekend fixtures, the much-anticipated FNB Premiership resumed on Tuesday and Wednesday and will continue this coming weekend with match week 22.
The plan and many areas were flooded.
Week 21 matches were postponed due to waterlogged pitches. After assessing the conditions, the league has decided to resume this week as the weather has improved.
And you know, in our hard assessment, our own check on mabala, check about the pollution, ralem hauring, I'm not babala sevilla for recovery.
To accommodate the postponed games from last week, the league will reschedule the matches before the FIFA international break and the Orange FA Cup fixtures.
Week 21
has not yet been rescheduled, but Week 22 fixtures are to proceed this weekend. The league aims to ensure that all teams have played 21 matches before the FIFA break and the Orange FA Cup fixtures to keep the schedule on track.
Everyone has played 21 games.
BFL is also banking on the National Stadium to ease the pressure on them upon the completion of the ongoing renovations.
We've had numerous meetings with the BOTSWANA National Sports Commission, and
the league has had multiple meetings with BNC regarding the National Stadium's refurbishment and fully supports its improvement for future matches. While BNC has provided alternative venues, the National Stadium and Dinaledi Academy remain the best option due to their superior drainage system.
And available to the Premier League. We have to use certain unless one. Mohaboroni, you know, there's only one stadium in a drainage system, and that's Dinaledi.
Despite the collapse of some stands at the Dinaledi Academy Stadium, the league will continue to use the ground with caution.
Dinaledi is arguably the best pitch we have in the country. It's a facility we want to use. The stand there,
Dinaledi Academy is currently the best pitch available. The collapse stemmed from last week's heavy rain is not a major issue as it will be condoned off for safety so as FNB Premiership League matches could continue being played there. However, BPSC Stadium is undergoing new development and some natural grass pitches are starting to deteriorate at this point in time.
Especially natural grass, so those are things that we'll have to assess on an ongoing basis.
If all goes according to plan, the 2024-2025 football season is expected to end in May this year. Tsagofatso Maleba, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
And in conclusion, in an effort to combat the spread of non-communicable diseases, senior citizens have been encouraged to engage in various sporting activities to keep fit. This was said by the coordinator of integrated care of older people, Mesinyeku, during the launch of the Seniors Recreation Health Care Program in Gaborone on Friday. The program is a flagship initiative by TR Joseph's Masters Athletics Academy. Reports.
Sport and physical training have traditionally been seen as activity for younger people and professional athletes. According to the program's coordinator of ICOP, sport can play a crucial role on how the elderly maintain their physical and mental wellness despite the health challenges they may be facing due to their age.
As Minister of Health, Health and Active Aging,
the Ministry of Health has introduced a comprehensive health anti-aging program to ensure our elderly citizens are not left behind. The initiative aims to equip individuals with the knowledge they need by the time they turn 60, empowering them to maintain their health and vitality as they age. By encouraging regular exercises, the program hopes to prevent age-related frailty, promoting physical fitness and overall well-being. Exercise not only helps the elderly stay fit, but also alleviates pain and stiffness in the muscles, contributing to a stronger and healthier body. Tshepo Joseph, founder of the TR Joseph Masters Athletics Academy, highlighted the main goal of the launch is to introduce and promote the initiative, encouraging community members to get involved.
especially mo go tsone.
The idea of this program originated from personal experience, starting with my parents, recognizing the lack of access to recreational facilities to many elderly people. I felt compelled to extend this initiative to benefit others as well. It is my hope that more elderly individuals will embrace the importance of exercise, leading to improved health and quality life.
So this is a very nice recreation program.
Some of the program participants expressed their appreciation, stating that the program is what the doctor has prescribed. Our goal is to ensure that we as the elderly remain active, resilient, and capable of fighting diseases, ultimately enhancing our quality of life through regular physical activity. The Seniors Recreation Health Program gives admission to elders aged 60 years and above who may not have access to recreational facilities. Through safe walking, exercise, and sport training, the program aims to keep elderly fit by playing sport. Khumzo Sifako, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
And that's how we wrap up BOTSWANA Tonight sports segment on a Friday night. Thank you very much for the privilege of your time. Before we part ways, let's take a recap of our leading stories.
The Khomukasitwa triple murder suspect Lance Corporal Omari arrested. Government committed to supporting the development of National Drug Control Master Strategy.
And in sport, Botswana Football Association moves closer to introducing VR technology.
Well, that is all the news we had for you at 9. With us up next. Stay with us.
Good evening and welcome to National Forecast. I'm Pro Victoria Fosiami. Let's start off by looking at rainfall amounts recorded this morning at 8 a.m. We have 113 millimeters at Inalokolo Primary School, 80 at Nganga Primary School, 60 at Sokoma Primary School, 40 at Desamane Primary School, 20 at Tuteng Primary School, 18 at Nokaneng Khotla. 17 millimeters at King Primary School, 15 at Joanna Meteorological Station, 12 at Tsitsem Primary School and Mulapule Prison Farm, 11 at Bandamatenga Meteorological Station, 10 at Budibeng Primary School, 9 at Kui Wildlife Camp, 7 at Zao Primary School, 4 at Solorani Primary School, 3 at Dagui Primary School, and 1 at Dugui Junior Secondary School. 1 at Shaka Meteorological Station, 0.5 millimeters at Mogodisane Police Station, and 0.2 at Buipelo Primary School in Charles Hill. Tonight's satellite image is showing some clouds being visible over some areas of the country, and we expect these to bring us rain into tonight. But for tomorrow, we're expecting mostly cloudy conditions countrywide, with isolated thunder showers over southern, central, and northeast. But for the rest of the country, we're expecting mostly scattered thunder showers. There's also a possibility of 50 millimeters or more of rainfall within a 24-hour period. Therefore, the public is advised to take necessary precaution. In the morning, we're expecting hot temperatures of mostly 20 degrees Celsius over southeast Gauteng, Kwening, much of Khanti, as well as Chobe. But for the rest of the country, we're expecting mostly warm temperatures ranging between 18 to around 19 degrees Celsius. In the afternoon, we're expecting mild temperatures over the western parts of the country, ranging between 23 over Veda to around 26 over Maung. But for the eastern parts, we're expecting mostly warm temperatures, ranging between 27 over Jwaneng and Silibepiko to around 29 over Suapen and Mahalape. On Sunday, we're expecting some partly cloudy conditions with isolated thunder showers over southern, central, and northeast. But for the rest of the country, cloudy conditions with scattered thunder showers are expected. Temperature-wise, we're expecting mostly warm temperatures countrywide, ranging between 27 over Veda, Khanti, as well as Kasani to around 30 degrees Celsius over Suapan and Mahalape. That's all I have for you tonight. Have yourself a good night.
So ke go lebogela go botse o itisitse le rona mo Botswana Tonight. Dipatlisiso tse di dirilweng ke lephata la Drug Enforcement Agency mo mafelong a lefatshe leno a lesome le boraro ngogola di supa fa tiriso botlhaswa ya ditagi mo lefatsheng leno e tsweletse ka go golela pele segolobogolo mo baneng ba dikolo e re ka di na le ditlamorago tse di masisi mo botsogong jwa setšhaba di akaretsa go latlhegelwa ke tlhaloganyo go nna mo diphatseng tsa go tsenwa ke malwetse a tshwana mogare wa HIV/AIDS go kgoreletsa baithuti mo dithutong tsa bone lefatshe leno le tsere tshwetso ya go dira lenaneo le le tsepameng la go laola le go thibela tiriso e botlhaswa ya ditagi go tlamela go sireletsa itsholelo le go somarela madi a lefatshe leno a kgotsa ka bong a dirisiwa go lwantsha ditlamorago tse.
The importance of today's work arises from the following observations, understanding, and realities. Number one, the nature, context, and impact of drug trafficking and the related crimes is known to reverse global economies. Hence, Botswana's economic gains need